strap in and turn up the radio for hard-hitting, high-scoring USF Cougar football. Coach Kevin Donley joins Joe Parson and the Redeemer Radio sports team for one of the great traditions in Fort Wayne sports as we count down to the kickoff on Redeemer Radio.
From the goal line, here is the return across the 10 to the 15, left side short of the 20-yard line comes, I believe that was Alan Jevning. He'll start at running back here this afternoon for the University of Jamestown Jimmies. Glad you could join us. Beautiful college football Saturday afternoon here in North Dakota. In case you missed a couple of scores from Thursday night, St. Xavier beat Marion 32-27, and also Concordia, Michigan, with a win over Davenport at 25-6. Offensive line, they average 292 a man, big offensive line, empty backfield. Now they do have a protector off the left side. Here's Dylan Klott looking to throw. The outlet pass, and it's knocked away. Good defense. Eric Dutton came across and knocked it away for the intended receiver as they were trying to get that ball into the hands of Jimmy Hatch. So Jimmy Hatch, the intended receiver, had one catch last week. He did run the ball 10 times for 63 yards. Average over 6 yards a carry. Second down and 10. Jimmies with the ball. First possession of the ball game. Dylan Klott. He is a 6'1 senior quarterback, 220-pounder. Shotgun formation. Motion right to left behind the line of scrimmage. Now they run the sweep. And again across the 20-yard line, just short of the 25 near sideline. On the sweep that time, Brandon Edwards, who had one carry last week. And he'll bring up a 3rd down and 5 situation for the Jimmies. They're working out of the right end zone from right to left as we look at it. That is the north end zone. Tyler Hennings at center, along with Dan Murphy and Oscar Rodriguez are the guards. Andrew Manis and Anthony Vereen, 291-pound junior, are the tackles. Trying to get to their own 29 on this 3rd down call. Here's Klott barking out the signals. Cougars show blitz left side. They back off. Here's the outlet pass comes near side. They won't get there. Big hit delivered that time. And on the catch, that was Hatch again, but he got stuck pretty good. And it'll bring up 4th down and 3. And we'll see if Chandler Johnson does all the kicking. Or are they going to gamble for it? It looks like they're keeping the offense on the field right now. They've got to get to their own 29. Last week on 3rd downs, Jimmies were 0 for 12 against the Broncos of Hastings. And now at the last second, they're going to bring on the punt team with 9 on the play clock. And the Cougars making a late change as well. That'll bring Sean Boswell into the game in punt return. He sets up at his own 42-yard line. 9 punts last week for Johnson. Let's see if the play clock expired. Referee Brian Honish throws the penalty flag, and looks like that may back up the Jimmies. A year ago, Sean Boswell had 37 punt returns, had along with 39. That is a penalty against Jamestown. Last week they had 8 penalties whistled against them for 66 yards. Boswell averaged over 9 yards of punt return. That was second best in the MSFA. Cougars with 10 men up on the line of scrimmage. And Johnson back in punt formation, waiting to receive it at his own, just outside the 5. Play clock again begins to run. 10 men up on the line of scrimmage. High snap delivered. Left-footed kick is on the way. Nice high hanging kick. Boswell's got it. Calls for a catch at the USF 40-yard line. So Nick Ferrer will come onto the field. The Cougars will have excellent field position with their first offensive possession of this ball game. We have no score in the early moments of the ball game. 13:05 remaining in the first quarter. Some of the other games going on elsewhere today. Siena Heights, they are taking on Northwood of Michigan. Olivet Nazarene, they're on the road at Lindenwood, Belleville. And Taylor, in the night game, they're hosting Malone tonight at 7 o'clock. Cougars with the offense on the field for the first time today. 2 wide to the left side. Nick Ferrer, who threw for 4,046 yards a year ago, 51 touchdowns, number 1 in the MSFA. Play action fake, wants to throw over the middle. He's got a man, a catch. Boswell tripped up. He's got a gain for first down into Jimmy's territory at the 45-yard line. They'll give him another yard at the 44. Boswell last year averaged 11 yards a catch, 26 catches for 286 yards. In that national championship game in December, had 1 catch for 11 yards. First and 10, USF at the Jimmies 44. They'll work from the right side hash mark now. Here is Justin Green looking for running room, and will get back and lose about a yard. Well defended that time by the Jimmies defensively. Cougar offensive line averaging 270 a man, tackle to tackle. Connor Holcomb, who played guard a year ago, now at center. Austin Smoker gets the start today at guard along with Jalen Campbell, Alex Woods at tackle, and Nick Shoemaker, another newcomer, getting a start at tackle. It'll be second down and 11. Boswell and Rocky James split wide to the far side. One wide to the near side now. That's Dan Rixey. Second down and 11. And here is a little stretch handoff, and here's Green, breaks it to the outside, steps out of tackle, 40-35, spun around down to the 32-yard line. That'll be good for a first down. So Green, the first time, was stopped for a yard loss, bounces back with a first down carry. And the Cougars will set up shop at the 32 of Jamestown, looking to draw first blood of this ball game. Ferrer with averaging 289 yards a ball game through the air a year ago. That was tops in the Mid-States Football Association. Now shotgun formation, 2 wide to the right side. Blitz showing defensive right side. Let's see, there was movement, but which way? And it will be procedure against St. Francis. As far as penalties a year ago, Cougars averaged 67 yards a game in penalties. In that national championship game against Baker, they had 8 for 64 yards. That'll cost them 5 yards here today. And the penalty will move the ball back outside the 35 to the 37 of Jamestown. So it will remain first down, first and 15.
First down.
And now the Cougars spread the field with 2 wide either side, and to the near side, including Zach Gegner, who is kind of that all-purpose H-back. He can line up about anywhere. Right now inside slot position to the right side. Pistol formation for Ferrer. Long count from the line of scrimmage. Looks to throw. He's got a man in the slot. That's Boswell again. Gets by 1, gets by 2, inside the 20 to the 15, and he's down to the 6-yard line. So the quick hitting play and the good job of the Cougar offensive line, giving Ferrer to run his progressions and find the place over the middle for Sean Boswell, who has stepped up very big already here today in this first season opening game for St. Francis. So they will have the ball first and goal at the 6, trying to draw first blood in this ball game. Rixey up in the wing to the right side. The split wide of him to the short side to the right is going to be Rocky James. Green flanked off the left side, motion by Rixey. They'll flip the ball to him. Got a block, steps over a would-be tackler, dragging tacklers down inside the 5. Did he break the plane of the goal? He did not. Got down to the 1. So it will be a completed pass for Ferrer to Dan Rixey, who had just 3 catches last year for 55 yards. But he'll have St. Francis knocking on the door. It'll be second and goal from the 1-yard line. Cougars will break the huddle and come up to the line of scrimmage. They'll work from the left side hash mark now. Rocky James split wide to the right side. And here's motion again by Rixey. Counter run by Justin Green. And no, it was a quarterback keeper play, I believe, by Ferrer. Did not hand that ball off to Green. It did not get in. It'll be third down and goal from the 1. So the Jimmies defense trying to stage a goal line stand here. But the ball just inches from the goal line. Third and goal. Cougars again breaking the huddle, coming up to the line of scrimmage. Let's see, they give it to Green, who ran for 12 touchdowns a year ago. Crowd coming alive here. And it is Green. Green to the line of scrimmage, dives, got in from the near side official. So a 1-yard run by Justin Green at the 9:21 mark. And the Cougars with their first points of this 2017 season. The credit Sean Boswell, a couple of key clutches in that drive. So Justin Green getting the touchdown. He ran for 1,371 yards, and over 750 of those yards came in the playoffs. Now the extra point, Gavin Gardner on, and the kick is on the way and is no good. Missed it wide right. So it's a timeout on the field down below here at Taylor Stadium. Cougars, though, with the early 6-0 lead, and we'll be back to North Dakota. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Make a difference in your life and others by joining. Every great team has focus and talent, and at Parkview Sports Medicine, our focus is on you. From performance training and nutrition counseling to orthopedic surgery, athletic rehab, and more, Parkview Sports Medicine's got you covered. You can trust us to bring together today's top experts in sports medicine to improve the performance and treatment of athletes like you. Go to parkview.com/sportsmedicine to learn how we can help you and the athletes in your life be your best. Parkview Sports Medicine. Upgrade your game.
Cougars back home next Saturday at Darcy Stadium. It'll be the Battle of St. Francis in Fort Wayne. Cougars against USF Illinois. That'll be a 12 noon kickoff. 11:45 right here on Redeemer Radio. Cougars ready to kick it away from left to right the way they started the ball game. Jimmies won the toss. Again, they've got Jeff. Here's the kick coming down to the far side, and it'll be fielded inside the 5, run to the right side by Brandon Edwards, and Edwards to the 15, and now penalty flag is thrown. Well, H&L Electric is your full-service electrical contractor, from commercial and industrial to residential. H&L can handle the smallest to the largest of projects for your business or residence. Face mask penalty against St. Francis, so that will improve the field position somewhat for the Jimmies. Cougars in the early lead at 6-0. And we'll see running back Alan Jevning, 194-pound freshman, setting up in the backfield once again, and coming out Dylan Klott, the 6'1", 220-pound senior. Last week he was 7-23 through the air for 33 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He was sacked twice. Offensive line did give up 2 sacks last week. One back look under center's Klott. Motion right to left behind the line of scrimmage for the Jimmies. They'll give to Jevning. Jevning trying to feel his way, and he's not going anywhere. He's going to lose a yard. Well, they may give him gain right back to the line of scrimmage. Let's call it 2nd down and 10 as the right side came in defensively for St. Francis. Cougars with good penetration coming through there. Let's check some of the folks in the, by the way, the Cougars in actually their home blues today. And Jamestown in the white jerseys with the orange helmets. 2nd down and 10 for Klott. Shotgun formation now. Motion again from right to left. Here's a screen coming near side. The ball is caught, but again, coming through, that was Spencer Coward, or check it. Cougars got great penetration across the line.
Lost the one on the play, brings up 3rd down.
Marcus Stepp in there that came through there and made that stop. A loss of 2 on the screen pass. That was caught by Caleb Hatch, but now it'll be 3rd down and 12. Jimmy's trying to reach their own 42-yard line. Wideouts to the right side. They've got Chris Hamilton in. And a little motion near side is Klott. Backs, gives ground, now scrambles to his right, looking to throw on the moves. Got a man downfield, and here's the ball intercepted as the Cougars come back the other way from the 15-yard line. Here's a run to the left side by Ryan Johnson. Johnson to midfield to the 45, picked up a block, steps out of a tackle, and then knocked out of bounds on the Cougar side of the field. So the interception, Ryan Johnson. That ball looked like it was going to be long enough. They had a man downfield, but Johnson never gave up on the play, rotated back inside the 15, and the first interception of the day by USF, and they will have the ball into Jimmy's territory. 1st and 10, and they'll spot it at the 39-yard line. That one was well played by Ryan Johnson. So St. Francis leading at 6-0. Offensive unit back on the field from the left side hash mark. Gegner up on the wing back spot to the left side, kind of an H-back position. Green the running back, but here's Ferrer wanting to throw the long ball, looking downfield, and the penalty flag is going to be thrown. He got tangled up, Rocky James with the intended receiver inside the 10 at the 5. Natural grass here, very, very good field possession today, or condition, I should say. Get Bryant.
And the 19 on the defense. It's a 16-yard penalty. First down.
Keith Rogers whistled for the interference call. They'll walk the ball off. That'll move it down inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. Still 7:19 remaining in this opening quarter. 6-0. St. Francis on the 1-yard plunge by Justin Green after a couple of Sean Boswell catches. Set him up for the first score of the day. Boswell in wide, right up in the slot to the right side. Split wide of him is Rixey. One wide to the left to the short side. Now Gegner comes over as well. And here is the draw that he gives to Green. Gets by one, cuts back middle of the field, and steps out of a tackle inside the 20. Got down to the 16-yard line. Justin Green with that nice little cutback move. Play designed to go off tackle to the left side. He'll pick up 8 yards. Cougars now come out from the huddle and set up to the right side as well. Will Christman is checked into the ball game, a sophomore at 6'6". Split wide to right. He's got single coverage on him. Rixey in motion right to left. Here is Ferrer. Looks, dumps in a crossing pattern. That was well defended. The catch was made by Gegner. But right there, Noah Brendan, 214-pound junior linebacker. It was enough yardage, though, for the first down. They only needed a couple of yards, and they'll spot it inside the 15 at the 13 of UJ. Cougars now trying to punch it in inside the red zone. Christman this time splits wide to the left side. He'll be joined by Boswell up in the slot to the left side. Green stays in as the one back. And here's Ferrer out of the pistol. Barking out the signals. Screens the ball. Bubble screen left side. Boswell looking for a block. Is not going to get it, but is knocked out of bounds inside the 10 on the far side there at about the 9-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 5. Cougars just trying to take what the Jimmies defense gives them. They can pick up a first down inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, second down and 6. Now Ferrer sets his team down, ready to put the play in motion again. Gives to Green, cuts back, and he's stumbling. Here's a run into the end zone, and that was Ryan Sonater who got in there. So Sonater snuck in there and carries on the second down call. He'll have a touchdown run here at the 5:21 mark. And the Cougars, for the second time today, have scored on the ground. Justin Green earlier on a 1-yard run, and Sonater now. Sonater at 5'9", 195, and boy, he got down in a scrunch and he just bowled his way into the end zone. Now Gardner tries the extra point on the way, hooking to the left, and that is good inside the left upright. And that'll make it a 13-0 St. Francis lead with 5:21 remaining in the opening quarter. And we'll be back to Raleigh-Greeno Field here at Taylor Stadium after this timeout. This is Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
You can help support your Catholic parish or school with Notre Dame Federal Credit Union's Elevate program. You'll not only enjoy excellent personal service and save money with your new loan or credit card, you'll also be giving money back to the participating parish or school you care about. Let Notre Dame Federal Credit Union elevate all participating parishes or schools. Elevate can be reached at 844-230-6611 or visit us online at ndelevate.com. Independent from the university.
Well, Gavin Gardner got that extra point to go to make it 13-0. And Ryan Sonata with the touchdown run. He had one touchdown a season ago, 26 carries and 86 yards. So St. Francis taking care of business, and they'll kick away for the third time already in this opening quarter, leading at 13-0. Brandon Edwards back deep along with Alan Jevning. Here's Gardner's kick driving end over end, and that'll be fielded at the 1. Turn across the 10, 15, right side, some running room. Edwards to the corner, 30, 35, 40. Up to midfield, and a good return by the little guy, Brandon Edwards. And he will have very good field position for the Jimmies, their first opportunity for the hometown crowd to cheer today. And they'll set up 1st and 10 at the USF 48-yard line. Well, Brandon Edwards, last week, 3 kickoff returns. Had a long of 23, so that's his best of the season, obviously. A year ago, averaged, had a long of 46 and averaged 22.7. So a very capable performer. Now Jimmy Hatch checks in the I formation. Dylan Clod under center to take the snap from the Cougar 48. They'll give it to Hatch, trying to angle to the right side, up in and tripped up as he got inside the 45 to the 44. So big offensive line and able to open up some daylight for the running of Jimmy Hatch, a 205-pound sophomore running back. Lott now checking the near sidelines. They'll bring up 2nd down and a long 5. Jimmy's their best starting field position of the day. At the Cougar 43, nose of the football just inside the 43. To the right side, they've got Chris Hamilton in, the lone wide, 2 wide to the left, including Hatch, who comes back and lines up at the tailback spot. They'll give the ball to him, trying to break it off to the right side, and stacked up. Now a penalty flag is thrown, a couple of them. And we'll see which way the penalties are going. Hatch lined up in the slot to the near side and then shifted back into the tailback position. And now Brian Yanish, our referee, holding will be the call against the Jimmies. So that'll be a walk-off of 10 yards. Jimmies last week against Hastings had 8 penalties for 66 yards, and that moves the ball back to the UJ side of midfield at their own 47-yard line. Right now, Jamestown working from right to left. And we have 4:20. Clock is moving late in this opening quarter. 13-0 St. Francis. 2 wide to the left side. The wide side again. Offset to the left side is Jimmy Hatch. Now they've got 2 blockers out here. They'll screen the ball near side. Edwards can't find the handle. Edwards, a 5'6" senior. Ball actually kind of hit him high in the shoulder pads off the helmet and hung in the air, tantalizing for a moment, but he couldn't find the handle, and no Cougar was near. They did have 2 blockers in front, but now it's 3rd down and 15. Clock stopped with 4:01 remaining. Pete Beer, a 220-pound redshirt junior fullback, checks into the ball game. Josh Burgess is in there, and he will come wide to the near side. Edwards will join him up on the slot to the near side. They've got to reach the Cougar 38 on this snap. Shotgun formation again. Now a timeout called. The play clock was just about to expire. Lott noticed it, and we'll have a timeout here at Raleigh-Greeno Field. 13-0 St. Francis with a stoppage down below, and we'll be back. This is Cougar Football on the Road on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Hey, it's Kyle from The Kyle Hyman Show, heard weekdays from 7 to 8 a.m. here on Redeemer Radio. And every morning we meet you where you are, getting out of bed, drinking your coffee, on your way to work, and through prayer, guests, personal stories, sometimes games, we bring you Catholicism with joy and fun to start your day. So don't miss The Kyle Hyman Show weekdays from 7 to 8 a.m. right here on Redeemer Radio.
Cougars, after the ball game here this afternoon, they will head back straight 18 hours to Fort Wayne. Because of USF Joliet coming in next Saturday, and the game preparation does not wait for long. Team meetings scheduled for tomorrow. Normally, Sunday after a Saturday game is a day off, but I believe I saw that they're meeting tomorrow. Cougars with 4 defensive down linemen now. Here is Klotz, circles to his left, buying time, looking, throws the home run ball. Scott Edwards, but he missed him. He had a step on the defender for St. Francis. That was Stan Jackson back with the coverage. It'll bring up 4th down now and 15. And we'll see if Johnson does come back in. Right now, the offensive unit stays on the field. Klotz checks the play clock. It still shows 23 seconds. So a decision for head coach Josh Kitchell, and he does bring the punt unit on now. Still with 16 on the play clock. So Chandler Johnson into punt. He'll wait back at his own 31 for the snap. Had a long of 41 last week against Hastings. Averaged over 30 yards a punt. And Sean Boswell at the Cougar 20. Kick is away, end over end wobbly ball. Boswell's got it, no fair catch. Works to his right, cuts to the 25. Now upfield across the 30. Steps out of a tackle at the 35 and up to about the 39-yard line. Sean Boswell. Very close to a late hit, and Boswell's down on both knees. Slow getting up. Sean Boswell, one of the veteran receivers. Remember, the Cougars have lost 3 of their top pass receivers from a year ago due to graduation. And Boswell's one of those guys, so versatile. Still on his feet okay, but now bent over again. And it was a personal foul call against Jamestown. So that'll move the ball into Jimmy's territory to the 45-yard line. Boswell still being tended to, on his feet but bent over. And looks like he's going to walk off the field under his own power. No assists needed. So he'll miss at least this first snap. But the Cougars will set up shop 1st and 10 at the UJ 45-yard line, leading it 13-0 with 3:42 remaining in this opening quarter. 2 wide to the left side, the wide side of the field. Cougars working from the right side hash mark as Connor Holcomb ready to snap the ball. Nick Ferrer out of the gun. He's got Green offset to his left side. Short drop, looks left side, throws the ball, he's got a catch. That's Chrisman. Chrisman just to cradle the ball into the breadbasket. He'll pick up about 5 to the 40-yard line. Well, if there was ever a clone of Seth Coate, it might be Will Chrisman. Now, he's got a ways to go to equal Seth, but he's got the size, certainly. 6'6", 216 pounds. They're going to move him back to the 41, so it'll be a gain of 4, 2nd down, and let's call it 6. This time from the left side hash mark. 2 wide either side of the field. Running back is Green. Blitz coming up the middle, being threatened by UJ. Here's Ferrer, gives a Green, runs that way, tripped up and falls forward, short of the first down stick. Got down to about the 36-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down, and still the Cougars needing about 1.5 yards. Nose of the football just outside the 36. Clock at 2:40, still running here late in this opening quarter. Green from 1 yard out at the 9:21 mark, and then Sonater at the 5:21 mark. 2 rushing touchdowns for USF. They lead at 13-0. Rocky James in the lone wide to the right side. Now they tighten up elsewhere. And under center, Ferrer hands the ball. Green needing a block. Now cuts to the right at 35-30, 30-yard line, 25-20. Still in bounds, inside, cuts inside. He's got a touchdown, but it's coming back. A couple of penalty flags at the 35 and at the 39. So Green ostensibly running for the touchdown of 36 yards, but that's going to be backed up and taken off the board. Officials conferring with Brian Yanish, our referee. Alex Woods is going to be whistled for a hold. So it's still 3rd down It'll be 3rd down and 11 with the ball back on the 46. Well, let's see. From the spot of the foul, they'll walk that off outside the 40. And they'll put it down right at the 45-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and 10 coming up for St. Francis. Cougars in the championship game were 7 of 16 on 3rd down opportunities against Baker for 44%. For the year, they were tops in the Mid-States Football Association at 47%, converting on 84 of 179 chances on 3rd downs. Trying to reach the 35. Jimmy's crowd trying to cheer up some defense. And Ferrer out of the pistol with 2 wide to the left side. Looks to throw. Right side delivery. Rocky James at the 35 and got to the 30-yard line. That is good for a first down. So James with his first catch of the day. Andre Purnell on the stop, a freshman. 6 foot, 205 pounds, but not enough. Too late to stop the first down. Pick up, and the Cougars now 1st and 10 at the UJ 30-yard line. Chrisman stays in wide to the left side. Do not see Boswell out there this series right now. Blitz again being threatened up the middle by the Jimmies. Here's the stretch handoff. Sonater looking for running. Cuts back middle of the field and again lowers the shoulder. Bulls inside the 20-yard line down to about the 18-yard line. And Ryan Sonater has been very impressive here today. He's already run for a touchdown. Picks up a first down on this carry. And the Cougars knocking on the door once again in the red zone, trying to add to their 13-0 lead with 1:17 remaining here in the quarter, the opening quarter, and time running. 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. Cougars getting some new numbers in there. Chrisman stays in wide to the right. Rixey up on the wing to the right side. And they've also got Duke Blackwell into the ball game. Ferrer a lot of time screens the ball left side dropped. Natural no catch as Rixey could not find the handle. Sometimes you can be too wide open. Nobody near him within about 10 yards, and Dan just tried to run before he had the ball put away secured. So that'll stop the clock with under a minute remaining in the quarter. 2nd down and 10 at the 18. Ferrer redirecting traffic. It wants Blackwell set up in the slot to the right side. And split wide of him will be Dan Rixey. Here's the stretch handoff, and it is Green. Tries to break it to the outside. A little stop and go move, and got inside the 16, it looked like, maybe to the 15, and then wisely could see the pursuit closing on him, stepped out of bounds in order not to take that hit. He'll gain about 3 yards. 2nd down, 3rd down and 7 coming up for USF. Moving it from left to right. Boswell, by the way, back into the ball game now after that late hit suffered against Jamestown. James stays in wide to the left. Rixey also wide to the right side. Slot right is Boswell. Ferrer out of the gun. Short drop. Looks left side. Trying to find Rocky James. He's got the over-the-shoulder catch. Did he get a foot in bounds? Touchdown. Nice play by Rocky James at 6'1". Went up and got it. 18-yard touchdown on the play. And the first passing touchdown of the year for Nick Ferrer, who had 51 of them last year. 25 went to Seth Coate a season ago. No Seth this year, but Rocky James with an over-the-shoulder catch, and he's got it at the 12.2 second mark. So the Cougars with their 3rd touchdown of the quarter. For a nice touch on that ball, putting air under it. Here's Gavin Gardner's kick. He's got the distance. He's got the angle. So add 7 to the Cougar total. They lead at 20-0 with a timeout. just scant seconds before the end of the quarter. And we'll be back to North Dakota. This is Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
A clean office space. Okay, that's an easy choice. And choosing the right company to clean your business is easy too. Sioka's Professional Cleaning is the choice of a lot of Fort Wayne companies because of the 100% satisfaction guarantee. Sioka's does it with built-in check systems to make sure your business is cleaned beyond your expectations every time. First impressions are critical, so make sure yours is always the best with professional cleaning from Sioka's. The best people, the best service. 483-2112 or online at siokas.com.
Rocky James with a nice play on that ball. He had 3 touchdown catches a year ago, has his first of the season here today. Good for 18 yards. Only question in the left corner of the end zone, was he going to be able to get a foot in bounds, and he did. This will be the 4th kickoff of this first quarter by St. Francis. Again, they'll kick it away, left to right. 76 degrees at kickoff. Nice breeze. Here's a kick, driving kick. And that'll come down and be fielded at the goal line. Jevity, I believe it is, runs middle of the field across the 15 to the 20. Still on his feet, pushes the pile, then takes a big shoulder hit right at the 33-yard line. Big hit that time. Is working the special teams that time and coming down. And that was a blow delivered by Malachi Mannion. So it'll be 1st and 10. Jimmies did not score a touchdown a week ago here in their season opener against Hastings. They lost that game 31-3. And they set up shot once again, 1st and 10. They've got it at their own 33-yard line. Shotgun formation. Here is a quarterback keeper play, and Klott not able to turn the corner. Cougars flew to the football. Dutton got there. Well, you look at that Cougar defensive line. Eric Hemmelgarn, who is even bigger this year, 6'5", 320 on the nose. And that is the end of the first quarter. So 20-0. Number 1 ranked St. Francis Cougars on the road, leading here in North Dakota. And we'll be back with quarter 2 action. This is Cougar football on the road on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Join me, Father Bob Yarrow, parochial vicar at St. Jude Parish in Fort Wayne, as we walk in the footsteps of St. Paul in the spring of 2018. Redeemer Radio Odysseys is traveling to Greece, where we will discover firsthand the sights, sounds, and feelings he may have had as he established the church. Register by October 20th to save $100 on your trip.
Questions? Visit Redeemer Radio Odysseys on our website at redeemerradio.com or call me, Tina Schneider, at 260-436-2482.
Hello, I'm Tom Steele with Tom Steele Tire and Auto Repair, a family-owned business for over 35 years. We carry all major brands of new tires as well as a large selection of quality used tires to save you money. We do all types of auto repairs, be it brakes, alignment, or just fix your air conditioning. Tom Steele Tire, North Clinton or Illinois Road. Give us a try. You'll be glad you did.
And we get ready to go to work again here at the start of the second quarter. Here's Jebney on a sweep coming to left side, and Cougars were waiting for him and at the pass. And that was Jamesich, I believe, that got penetration across the line of scrimmage. Not much there that time. They'll lose about a yard. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 11. Chris Hamilton will check back into the ball game. He's a 6'1" wide receiver, redshirt junior. Cougars with Hemmelgarn on the nose. Jordan May been battling the last couple of years through some injuries, getting a start today. Jamesich out of Carroll. There was movement at the line of scrimmage. Now a penalty flag, and let's see if the Cougars were drawn across. They jumped. Might have been a hard count. And let's see if that's... It is encroachment against St. Francis. That'll cost them 5. So instead of 3rd and 11, it becomes 3rd down and about 6. Klott stays in there as quarterback. A year ago, he threw for 11 touchdowns. He was picked off twice, sacked 11 times. 6'1", 220-pound quarterback. Now he's got a trips package to his right. That's the wide side of the field. Still trying to reach their own 43-yard line on this snap. Shotgun formation. Klott, time of the pocket, throws the out pattern, and then 2 wide, intended for Brandon Edwards on a crossing pattern. Edwards, not all that big, but very talented, 5'6", 157. Had 3 touchdowns a year ago and 540 receiving yards. So he's their main threat through the air as far as receiving. And now they'll have to bring Chandler Johnson on 4th down and 6 to punt the ball away again. Boswell this time will set up out of the north. He'll move from right to left as we look at it, and making sure he's got 10 men up in front. This time they have 9 men up on the line of scrimmage. High snap. Johnson with a left-footed kick. High sailing ball. That one's angling. And it'll be fielded by Boswell on the bounce, and he steps out of bounds. He brought it up across the 25 and maybe gets a couple of yards up to about the 27, 28-yard line. We'll see where they spot it. That ball kind of took a high bounce off the soft turf, and Boswell decided, what the heck, I'll just pick that up and take a quick couple of steps to the sideline, and does get a return of about 3 yards. So here comes the Cougar offense back on the field today. This time, the first time they worked from right to left as we look at it. Looks like to be still the first team offense on the front line. The offensive line, Alex Woods, Nick Shoemaker, the tackles, Smoger and Gamble, the guards, and Connor Holcomb getting his first start at center. Here's the delivery, and Ferrer looking to throw, checks down, throws to the right, comeback pattern run. Rixey's got it, sheds a tackle, and curls his way up to 35 before stepping out of bounds. They're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 34. Again, one of the keys, Ferrer, a lot of time. Ran the checkdowns. It was a play design. He was looking to his left, nothing there. And Rixey spotted, came back, and picks up about 6 yards. 2nd down and 4. Cougars work from the right side hash mark. Rixey stays in wide to the short side to the right. Rocky James, part of a 3-wide set to the left. In between receivers is Duke Blackwell. Gegner out there as well, but they'll run the ball. Green trying to make a move, and he's got the first down. Tried to cut to the inside, looking for the 40-yard line. They're going to mark him down at the 40, and they move the chains. 1st and 10, St. Francis. Cougars have scored twice on the ground today, 1 through the air. Most recently, Ferrer for 18 yards to Rocky James. Right now, 20-0 lead. And improving field position for the Silver and Blue Cougars on the road here in the season opener in North Dakota. They've got it at the 40. Same set, 3 wide to the left, 1 wide to the short side to the right. Shotgun for Ferrer. Looking to his left. Jamestown threatens blitz. Here's Ferrer. Looks, now throws left side. He's got Blackwell. Fingertip catch. Did he hold on? Let's see if they rule it a catch. And they do. Boy, he sold out on that one. Blackwell at 5'10", had to leave his feet. Question was going to be, could he maintain control to the ground, because he hit the ground heavily, but it was able to cradle the ball in. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line of Jamestown. Boswell into the game now, up in the slot to the right side. Rixey split wide of him. Green is the one back in the receiving core, or the running back core. Gegner off on the wing to the left side. Here's Green looking for a hole, and he finds it left side into the 2nd level inside the 15 to the 10. They won't catch him today. Justin Green on the handoff and a run of 30 yards here at the 12-12 mark. So Justin Green for the 2nd time today to the house. Again, play set up beautifully by that nice catch by Blackwell. Nice off-tackle run to the left side by Justin Green. So Gardner comes on now to attempt the extra point once again. Here's the hold, good hold. The kick is long enough and good. So, Cougars on the board again, and they'll lead at 27-0 here. Still 12-12 remaining in the first half, and we'll be back after this timeout. This is Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Hello, sports fans. This is Father Bob Garrow, chaplain at Bishop DeWanger High School. It is time to get geared up for our fall sports season. Whether competing on the soccer field, golf, or cross-country course, volleyball court, or on the gridiron, we wish good luck and great sportsmanship to all our student athletes and their teams. May we become the saints we are called to be. Saint Sebastian, pray for us.
St. Felix Catholic Center in Huntington, Indiana offers one-day and overnight retreats with over 70 rooms. Be sure to visit Our Lady in her grotto and walk the 30 scenic acres. St. Felix is the former home of Blessed Solanus Casey. Visit their website at sfcatholiccenter.com to schedule your next meeting or retreat. Cougars up 27-0. And Gardner will tee it up at his own 35. This time he'll kick it away from right to left. Wind beginning to pick up a little bit here. Game started with the winds out of the west-northwest at 10 miles an hour. They said the temperature and the winds will pick up as the afternoon wears on, maybe getting up to about 80 degrees and about 15 miles an hour. Deep kick, though. Backpedaling, that'll go into the end zone, and it is through the end line. And it'll come out 1st and 10 on the touchback for Jamestown. Looking ahead, the Jimmies, they play their first road game next Saturday. They'll be at number 17, Dakota Wesleyan. Cougars will have their home opener at Darcy Stadium. That'll be a 12 noon kickoff against the Fighting Saints of USF, Illinois. We'll take to the air at about 11:45 next Saturday. So the Jimmies sent out their offensive unit 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Three-die formation now. And the quarterback, that is Klott, gives it off, and they run the ball off tackle, and they'll gain it out across the 25 to about the 29-yard line. Jimmy Hatch in there getting the call this time, and he'll pick up 5. Brings it out to the 30-yard line. Jevning stays out there. This time the Jimmies huddle up. Play clock at 18. And Hatch will be the tailback in the I formation. Wing back off to the left side. Now motion out of that, setting up to the right. It's a wide side of the field. Here's Hatch looking for running room as he steps out of a tackle. He's got a first down. Runs across the 35 all the way up to the 40-yard line. And Hatch, again, one of those kind of little guys that is able to scooch down in that running style and evade some of the high-hit attempted tackles by St. Francis. Hatch, a sophomore at 5'10", 205. But the Jimmies get the first down, and they're at their own 40-yard line. Just over 11 minutes remaining until intermission. Cougars with Jamesich at defensive end, Hemmelgarn at nose, and Jordan May on the right side. Now they bring a 4th man up on the line of scrimmage. Tight formation again. Here's the handoff and a run. Some running room. That's Hatch again to midfield to the Cougar 45 inside the 40-yard line and bumped out of bounds. He runs inside the 35 to the 32. So back-to-back good runs by Jimmy Hatch, and suddenly the run game by the Jimmies is effective. They'll have a first down at the Cougar 32-yard line. Most impressive drive of the ball game by University of Jamestown. Now they'll put Jevning back in the tailback spot. And Klott under center. Cougars expected the Jimmies to run the ball a lot today. And they'll give the ball Jevning trying to work off tackle. He's got a hole and works inside the 25 down to the 21-yard line. Good block down in there. Lee Stewart got knocked out of the play, trying to come up, and that's going to be another gain. Let's see where they spot the down to the 23, 22-yard line. And I believe St. Francis is going to take a timeout right now, as Wilmer Cole a little slow getting off the field. But we have a timeout, 10:16 remaining in the second quarter, 27-0 USF. And this is Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Stay connected with Redeemer Radio. On the new Redeemer Radio smartphone app, you can sign up for notifications to stay informed with the latest news and programming updates. You can receive alerts for our special broadcasts, The Kyle Hyman Show, Redeemer Reflections, Odyssey Pilgrimage information, and more. Download the free Redeemer Radio app on your smartphone or tablet by searching Redeemer Radio in your Google Play or App Store. Brought to you in part by Notre Dame Federal Credit Union.
Well, the game of football is always a game of adjustments, and 3 straight runs, and very effective runs by the University of Jamestown, and Kevin Donley had seen enough, calls the timeout, and we'll see what adjustments USF has made. Try to stop that effective run game all of a sudden. Now it's going to be a shotgun formation. Still tight formation, though, to the left side, right side of the field. Here's Jevney trying to sweep, and looks to turn the corner, cuts to the 20-yard line. Wrapped up and knocked down at about the 19. A gain of 3 or 4 yards as coming across Spencer Coward. One of the first of the silver and blue to reach the ball carrier, Jevney. Call that a pickup of 3, second down and 7. Check the clock, still approaching 9.5 minutes remaining in this second quarter. Jimmy's going to stay with that tight formation. One wide to the right side, the wide side of the field. Now they tandem flip-flop, blockers to the right side, the wide side, and motion left to right behind the line of scrimmage. Here's a quarterback keeper call, and Quat will have to dive down to about the 16-yard line. That time the deception was to the wide side, to the right, with the blockers and the motion man. But Quat would call his own number. He had 3 carries for just 1 yard last week. A year ago ran for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. But it's a third down call coming up, 3rd down and 4, with the ball just at the Cougars' 16-yard line. So the Jimmies in the red zone trying to get one on the board. They trail it 27-0. Edwards wide to the right. Cole's got the coverage on him. They'll run the ball with Jevning, or to Hatch. Hatch angles to his left. Looks like he's a yard short of the first down. Brought down at about the 12. He's about a yard short. They'll spot that ball back at the 13. He can pick up the first down at the 12. It'll be 4th down and a yard. And the Cougars trying to make a stand here defensively. Devin Green in at linebacker on the right side. Eric Dunton and Pearson Harnish are the linebackers. And here we go. Straight I formation, power to the left side. Plot under center. Now it's got motion. They'll run the ball, you believe, to the right. Here is Hatch, and he's not going to get there. Knocked down right at the 15, a loss. And the Cougars came pouring through there. Mitchell Thornberry came through there and had the initial hit. So they stop him on a 4th down bid, and now we've got one of the Jimmies down. And we'll see if that was the ball carrier. So we have a injury timeout down below. 7:57 remains here in the first half. Let's step out for this 30-second break. This is Cougar Football on the Road on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
This is Bishop Kevin Rhodes, Bishop of Fort Wayne, South Bend, inviting you to join me this Wednesday at noon for a new episode of Truth and Charity. I'll talk about my experiences with St. Teresa of Calcutta, and then it's on to the charitable works of the Catholic Church. Join me this Wednesday at noon.
Truth and Charity with Bishop Rhodes is brought to you in part by Notre Dame Federal Credit Union.
Actually, that's one of the big linemen that's coming off that was slow getting up. That was Anthony Vereen that comes off. 291-pound junior tackle. but came up under his own power, so it looks like he's good to go. And now the Cougar offense comes back on the field. They'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line on that 4th down stop, I should say. And they'll run the ball. Here's Sonata, breaks off, tackle to the right, and tries to run right over one of the tacklers at the 20. Cartwheels up to about the 21-yard line. So Sonata running hard here today. He has scored on a 9-yard touchdown run after an interception by Ryan Johnson. Now the Cougars beginning to filter in some new numbers as well. And we'll check them for you as Ferrer sets up out of the pistol after a gain of 7. They'll run the ball. Sonata again runs into traffic, though, at the 22. Gain only about another yard, so it'll bring up 3rd down call coming up for St. Francis. And trying to check some of these numbers in here. Got a roster, but it's on 4 pages and not necessarily in order. 3rd down and about 2. Big call coming up for St. Francis. Here is Ferrer. Wants to throw. He's got Chrisman. Chrisman at the 28, trying to arm wrestle. And now a penalty flag. They might have got a piece of the face mask, but which way? Right now it would be a 1st down. Jimmies think it's going the other way. I think the 1st down is going to stand up if the penalty does go against Chrisman for grabbing the face mask. Brian Yanish talking with his head linesman right now. And both teams kind of standing around with the ball up at the 28-yard line. Ferrer's talking to one of the other officials. I think he's, again, trying to confirm that they will have a 1st down. And by the way, Ferrer saying it does go against Chrisman. Oh, they do not grant the 1st down. Yeah, let's see if they're going to take half the distance to the goal. It will remain 3rd down. My impression was they would have the 1st down and then the penalty walked off after that. That's not the way they rule. And the Cougars, who had averaged 67 yards a game in penalties a year ago, have a big one now because that wipes out the 1st down. Now the official still conferring. Trying to check across the sideline. Kevin Donley's come out there, and I think he's echoing my thoughts that the linesman going to have to deal with Coach across the way. And Coach is coming out, and he wants an explanation. No question about the penalty, but he's questioning whether they would not have why they don't have the 1st down, and then the penalty enforced. Because Chrisman had the yardage. As it is, the ball's marked back at the 14, and that's the way it's going to stand. It'll be 3rd down and 11. So the Cougars would need to get out to their own 25 on this snap. 2 wide to the right, the wide sealed side side of the field for Ferrer. Again, the blitz being shown, 2 up the middle, and Ferrer drops the throw, looks, throws right side, wide of the intended receiver that time. Had a lot on the throw that time. Nate Carson was the intended receiver, but no chance on that ball. Sailed a little bit wide and high. So the Cougars will have to punt the ball for the first time today. And we should see Joe Nepper coming on. When Josh Spitnail was injured a year ago, had to have some time off. Joe did a credible job, had a long of 58 yards on the season, averaged just under 35 yards a punt, waits for the snap at the 1-yard line, needs a good delivery of the football right here. Gets that, kick is away, high, not all that long, wobbly ball. It'll be caught at the 49 of Jimtown. Of the Jimmies, I should say, and it will be Edwards does return it into Cougar territory to the 46-yard line. Well, the Jimmies and Jimtown kind of stick in your mind at times here, but we're in North Dakota, out of northwest Indiana, so it'll be Jimtown. There we go again. It'll be the Jimmies, University of Jamestown, with the ball into Cougar territory, 1st and 10 at the 45 with 8:26 I think that's what the clock shows. Might be 6:26. We'll check it. Sun shining heavily onto the scoreboard right down. One thing we do see, it's 27-0 St. Francis. Jimmies with a I formation now. Motion behind the line of scrimmage, right to left. And they'll hand that ball off. And here is a gain of 1. Alan Chevning got the call and broke across the 45, got a yard to about the St. Francis 44-yard line. Jevney led the Jimmies last week against Hastings with 16 carries, good for 64 yards. So he averaged 4 yards a carry. But Jimmy Hatch has been having more of the success for today, especially that last previous series when they had 3 straight runs and got the ball down into the red zone against St. Francis, but came away with no points. Gain of 1, 2nd and 9. And it is 5:46 remaining here until intermission. This time 2 wide to the right. Here is the give, and again, they gave the ball to Jevning, and he is wrapped up. And I mean, Eric Dutton just put him in a bear hug.
Number 27 on the offense had a helmet. He needs to be sit out 1 play.
Helmet came off one of the Jimmies, so he'll have to check out for a gain for 1 play. And a loss of 1 back to the line of scrimmage at the 45 brings up 3rd and 10. Mentioned against Hastings a week ago, the Jimmies never had a conversion. They were 0 for 12 on 3rd down chances. They would need to get to the 35. Edwards up in the slot to the near side, and now a timeout called by Josh Cattell to think twice about what kind of play on 3rd and long they would like to run here. With a timeout and 5:14 remaining in the first half, Cougars on top 27-0, and we'll be back. This is Cougar football on the road on Redeemer Radio 106.3 FM Northeast Indiana.
Do you know that your car is worth more than the no thank you just got from a dealer? Turn nothing into something powerful by donating that vehicle to Redeemer Radio. All you need is the title and we'll take care of the rest. It's swift, safe, and simple, and you may qualify for a tax deduction. To learn how to donate your vehicle and help fuel Catholic programming on Redeemer Radio, go to RedeemerRadio.com and click on Donate My Car or call 1-866-628-CARS.
Cougars back home for the home opener next Saturday at high noon. They'll take on the Fighting Saints of USF, Illinois. Hope you can join us. We'll take to the air at 11:45 Eastern Time. Other games going on elsewhere. The Mid-States today, Siena Heights, they're taking on Northwestern of Michigan. And Olivet Nazarene at Linwood Belleville today. Night game has Taylor hosting Malone. 3rd down and 10. Shotgun formation now for Dylan Klott. Klott out of the gun. Yard deep into Jimmy's territory. Short drop now, rolls to his right, steps up, throws, dumps it off, and it's a drop ball. Out of the backfield, Jimmy Hatch was the safety valve and turned around just as Spencer Coward was about to reach him. So it'll be 4th down and 10. And Chandler Johnson in to punt once again. He's been a busy guy today so far. He'll wait for the snap to punt that ball away at his own 40. I believe it's still Sean Boswell in punt return. Left-footed kick, end over end. It'll hit at the 20, takes a bounce. Boswell backs away, and it will get into the end zone, I believe. It is a touchback. It'll come back out. Boy, valiant effort that time by one of the Jimmies to get down there, and he's looking for an explanation. I believe that was Paul Gibson that sold out on the play, left his feet to try to bat that ball back in, but it had already crossed the plane of the goal. And it will come out 1st and 10 for St. Francis. Cougars will have it. It should be up at the 25. Everybody was standing around. No, it'll come out to the 20-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Cougars. Well, Clay Cenarius came out. I think he was just joining the first team offense out there for a chat with the coaching staff. Green stays out there as the running back. Nick Ferrer as the quarterback. Blackwell up in the slot to the right side. Gegner up in the slot left side. Too wide either side of the field. Ferrer wants to throw. Looking, checks off. Now flush to his right. Takes a look, throws on the runs. Got a man, that's Rixey with a little pirouette move, and has got the catch across the 35, and will bring it out to about the 37-yard line. So Dan Rixey with some nice footwork. That time, a lot of time enabling Ferrer to run his checkdowns. There was a penalty flag, though, and let's see if this is coming back. It's a defensive holding. Cougars will decline that, and they'll take the play by the catch by Rixey. That'll give them that first down with 4:29 remaining in the first half. 27-0 St. Francis coming in on the road today all the way in North Dakota. This time it'll be Rocky James along with Blackwell. Split wide to the near side. 2 to the short side to the right for Ferrer. Green offset. 2 steps behind Ferrer on the pistol. Green looking to break it left side. 35-40. Gets out of the tackle. 45-50. He's down the left sidelines. He stepped out of bounds. If he does not step out of bounds, he's to the house. But Green out of bounds right at about the 42, maybe the 41-yard line of the Jimmies. He was that close to breaking another long-distance run for a touchdown. He's already got a 30-yard touchdown run today. Back 2 touchdown runs, looking for his third. They'll spot it at the 41 of UJ. Rixey wide to the right. Blackwell joins him up in the slot. Rocky James wide to the left. They're up in press coverage on James as Ferrer out of the gun. Looks to throw, pump fake, pulls it down, throws a crossing pattern. James has got it now. Penalty flag thrown as Ferrer was knocked down on the play. And another penalty flag. Let's see what that's going to be about with 3:40 remaining. Headlinesman, it'll be a hold against St. Francis. Cougars racking up some yardage here in the first half with yellow laundry thrown to the turf against them. Penalty will move the ball back to the USF side of midfield to the Cougar 49. It will be first down. 1st and 20 from the USF 49-yard line. Nate Carson checks back in wide to the right. And here is Ferrer wants to throw. The rush is coming, dumps it off. He's got Green. Green gets a block at the 50, 45, and then tripped up and tripped down at the 43-yard line. Again, he looked like he had some running room. Looked like Scott Bonham in there got literally the feet tangled up with Green and knocked him down. Got a lot of the penalty yardage back, but it'll be 2nd down and 12. Now at the Jimmies 43-yard line. Cougars moving from right to left on this sun-filled afternoon in North Dakota. Carson, the lone wide to the right, 2 wide to the left. And I believe it's Boswell back in there at the slot receiver. Chrisman wide of him. And pistol formation for Ferrer to throw again. Looks right, checks off. Or the middle's got to catch. Boswell took a big hit. Short of the first down at about the 33. Let's see if they give him another yard to the 32. They will. And it'll bring up 3rd down and about a yard. Cougars can pick up a first down at the 31. And obviously in 4-down yardage here. Gegner will check out of the ball game now. Chrisman stays in wide to the left, and Boswell took that big hit, and he's a little staggered earlier in the ball game, still in there in the slot formation to the left. They'll run the ball, and here's Sonater not going anywhere, trying to fight back. They had him wrapped up in the backfield and able to only get to the 35, so that'll be a loss, and it'll bring up 4th down and about 4. They'll spot it at the 34-yard line. Nose of the football just inside the 34. Call it a long 3 on 4th down. And the Cougars will roll the dice here. With under 2 minutes remaining, we're at 1:47 remaining in the half. They can pick up a first down at the 31. Ferrer out of the pistol again. Looks to throw. Dumps a crossing pattern. Rixey gets by 1. Cuts to the 30. Angles to the left. 25-20. trying to stay in bounds and up inside the 10 and all the way down close to the, I'm going to say the knee hit at the 9. It'll be first and goal. The Cougars knocking on the door again here in the late moments of this first half with under 90 seconds remaining in the half. They'll have it first and goal at the 9-yard line. Gegner will come back into the ball game now. Boswell stays in there as well. Boswell sent wide to the right with Rixey. Green, the running back. And Gegner up on the left wing. Crispman wide left. They're up in press coverage on him. At 6'6", here is Green with the handoff. Off tackle, and he's looking to walk into the end zone. And he will. Justin Green. Easy run for the score from 9 yards out. That's his third touchdown of the day. And it comes at the 1:06 mark of the second quarter. Boy, great blocking on the left side by Alex Woods and Jalen Gamble. Setting up that gaping hole. And Gavin Gardner now comes on. Looking for the 34th point of the first half, if he can get it to go. You know, Ryan Nix, as you know, had just a fabulous career. Had that career-high 44-yard field goal. This one hits off the stanchion. It is good in the middle of the field, but the video crew's got that scale up there, and it hit off of it. That'll make it 34-0 with a timeout. And we'll be back with more here in North Dakota. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Programming on Redeemer Radio is underwritten in part by Bob Busher Homes. Floor plan customization is what they specialize in. Find floor plans, building sites, and read Bob's story on the web at bobbusherhomes.com. Bob Busher Homes is locally owned with offices in Fort Wayne and Angola. For more information about new home building or remodeling, Bob Busher Homes can be reached at 260-490-3355.
Glad you joined us for Cougar Football this season opener on the road in North Dakota. Team bust in, left on Thursday, got to Minneapolis, stayed the night there, came on in to the Jamestown area, practiced on Friday, got their sea legs. But it's going to be a different story going home this afternoon. They'll take it straight through all 18 hours back into Fort Wayne and should be back into the Summit City sometime tomorrow afternoon. Kind of a Bataan death mark. Here's a squib ball filtering down to the 25-yard line. One of the up people just takes a dive across the 30 to the 31. So it'll be first and 10. That looked like it was Gavin Pansereau that on the return, one of the rare opportunities for one of the big number guys to get his hands on the football. So 1:05 remains here in the first half. And Josh Cattell will send his offense onto the field. We mentioned Josh Cattell. He was a graduate of the Jimmies and played quarterback here, graduated in 2008 and had really some success. Threw for just under 3,000 yards. Little motion right to left behind the line of scrimmage. Power I to the left. They'll run though to the right side, and boy, nothing there. As the Cougars came pouring through there, Pearson Harnish led the run. Defense. And it looked like Dunton was there as well. Wilmer Cole also came up in run support defensively. So no gain, second down. Cougars are going to take a timeout. Call it a gain of 1. We'll keep things right here. I'll let you know in case you missed some of the scores from earlier in the week. Well, a bit of a surprise as St. Xavier. You look back over the years, and the Cougars of SXU have had some talented teams. Won a national championship a few years back, and they defeated number 5 Marion on Thursday night, 32-27. So that caught everyone's attention in Fort Wayne. As far as some of the other games, how about Concordia of Michigan? As they defeated Davenport 25-6. Of course, we'll see Concordia a little bit later in the year. Other games today, Siena Heights taking on Northwood of Michigan, and Olivet Nazarene on the road in the St. Louis area taking on Lindenwood Belleville. And tonight it'll be Taylor at home hosting Malone. 2nd and 9 for the Jimmies after the timeout. They'll stay with the I formation. It looks like Jimmy Hatch might be the running back right now. And Clyde looking to hand the ball off tackle run. No, it's Jeffney. Jeffney with a little bit of angle and some daylight. Crosses the 40, bumped out of bounds near side to the 43. So Alan Jeffney with one of his best runs of the day. And that's good for a first down. Needed 9. He got more than that with a gain out to the 43-yard line. 42 seconds remaining and some change. Clock stopped as he stepped out of bounds. Now Brandon Edwards will check into the ball game. Bringing the play in, whistles blow.
Please. 32 seconds on the game clock. The clock will start on the snap.
Right now it shows 39.5 seconds remaining until intermission. Referee Brian Yanish wanted some change on the clock. And it'll start on the snap. And now they put 42 seconds on the clock. So 1st and 10. Proving field position for the Jimmies. They trail at home. And they'll run the ball once again off tackle to the right. A run to Jeffney wrapped up by Dutton. The 215-pound junior linebacker brings them down with authority. Had 121 tackles a year ago. Dutton with 5 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, 2 block kicks, and 2 quarterback hurries. And Pearson Harnish with 131 tackles a year ago. 1 interception, 7 for loss, 4 sacks, 4 quarterback hurries. Gain of 1. Clock running out. It looks like Jimmies are not going to run a play. They'll have to hurry with 5 seconds. Coming up to the line of scrimmage with 1, and they will not get a play off. So it will be a 34-0 lead for St. Francis, ranked number 1 after the national championship victory in December over Baker. Here today, impressive with their season opener on the road in North Dakota. They lead the University of Jamestown 34-0. Let's go down and see if we can get in touch with Bill Scott with Coach Kevin Donley.
Okay, Joe, I've got Kevin Donley here. Quick thought on today's first half. Pretty good start, Coach.
Yeah, we're playing hard. We're still making a lot of mistakes and goofy things, but that's part of the first game. But we're playing hard. And that's what I demanded, that we played max effort today. So just got to do it for another 30 minutes here.
Okay, thanks, Coach. There you go, Joe.
Appreciate it, Bill Scott with the coach. So we didn't miss out. Glad you stayed with us, Bill. We had a chance to get Coach on the air here with his comments at halftime. Of course, he's got to be happy with the 34-0 lead. Justin Green running strong here on a sunny afternoon in North Dakota. They'll count them out there. They got 7 officials working today's ball game. And I'm guessing they didn't come from Indiana. Well, we see Clay Cenarius warming up. We may well see him in the second half. In this 34-0 lead by St. Francis. Anyway, we've got just less than a minute before the start of the second half. We will remind you again, the Cougars come back home next Saturday. Hope to see you out at Darcy Stadium with that 12 noon kickoff. And this is, by the way, a Fighting Saints team out of University of St. Francis, Illinois in Joliet. They played against Morningside last week. They're ranked number 5, and of course, they'll have the Cougars ranked number 1. So what a brutal start. And by the way, the coaches were talking about USF Illinois. They were very, very impressive in their game against Morningside. So it does not get any easier. As we mentioned, when you're number 1, that's a circle date on every team's schedule, looking for their shot to bring their A game against the number 1 ranked Cougars. Well, if there was a surprise, it would have to be Thursday night. And Marion was defeated by St. Xavier. That game was in Chicago, we understand. And the Cougars of SXU upset Marion, ranked number 5, 32-27. But Concordia also did not escape the view of the Cougar coaches. They beat Davenport 25-6. Several games elsewhere today involving mid-stage teams. Siena Heights home against Northwood of Michigan. Olivet Nazarene on the road at Lindenwood Belleville, and Taylor tonight hosting under the lights Malone, the Pioneers. Jimmies won the toss. They took the football to begin the ball game. They kick off now as Green is back deep, waiting inside the 10. Kick comes right to left. Green out of the south end zone. Cougars on top, 34-0. Kick near side. Green fields it at the 12. Runs across the 15, 20, 25. Middle of the field and tries to step out of tackle. Circles to his left. And stumbling, but still on his feet across the 35. Out to the 41-yard line. Justin Green took 2 of them to bring him down. So very good field position on the strong return by Justin Green. Green a year ago had 29 kickoff returns, had a long of 49, averaged 26.6 in kick return average. In the championship game against Baker, had 2 kickoff returns, had a long of 36, and for the night averaged 31.5 yards. He's run for 3 touchdowns today. 34-0. St. Francis sets up offensively now, moving from left to right. It will be Nick Ferrer, 13 out of 15 through the air in the first half. Looks like Sonata back there and kicks the handoff off tackle and wrapped up after he gains about 3. Jalen Gamble trying to seal off a block on the left side. Connor Holcomb, as we mentioned, starting at center today after playing guard all of last year. Jalen Gamble and Austin Smoger starting today at guards. Nick Shoemaker and Alex Woods at tackles. Woods, a veteran, returning. Gamble saw a lot of action a year ago, and Holcomb, but at guard. That was a gain of 3, second down and 7. Out of the pistol, Ferrer looking in, long count from line of scrimmage, hands it again, this time Sonata. Off tackle to the right, dives for the first down stick, and let's see if they give it to him. One official had it marked at the 48, but the near side official marks it down back, well, the nose of the football just on the Jimmy side of midfield. That'll be short by about the length of a football. It'll be 3rd down and short for USF. Cougars had 16 first downs in the first half. Need one now to control and maintain possession of the football. Tight formation, 1 wide to the right. Here's a run by Green, and he's not going to get there. They came pouring through on the left side and knock him down for a loss. Was that Zach Phillips? Phillips, if it is, he's out of Greenfield, Indiana. No, it's Panzero that's credited with the stop, but Zach Phillips, who had 5 tackles, 1.5 loss last week, and 1 sack. He's out of Greenfield, Indiana. So a little Hoosier flavor on this University of Jamestown team. Loss of a couple, and the Cougars will have to kick the ball away. Nepper had just 1 punt in the first half. Joe Nepper on. Waits for the snap at the 35. Long count, and here's they run the football, and they've got the first down. It's Pearson Harnish at the 30, 25, 20. Needs a block, cuts back to the left. He's going to go to the house, a touchdown. On 4th and 2, it'll be a touchdown run of 52 yards by Pearson Harnish. As the Cougars, little razzle-dazzle, and they cross them up. And a 4th down and 2 call. And 52 yards on the touchdown run by Pearson Harnish at the 12:42 mark. That ball looked like it was coming back short. I thought it was a missed snap, but it was a design play all the way, a short snap to Pearson Harnish, and he runs for the touchdown. Needed about 2.5 yards for the first down. He got much, much more. Gardner now on with the extra point. Right-footed kick is on the way. It looks good, and it is good. So make it 41-zip. St. Francis on the road today in North Dakota, and pulling out all the stops from Kevin Donley here today on the road. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
This is Father Richard Simon, the host of Father Simon Says here on Redeemer Radio, weekdays from 11 to noon. I open each show with an examination of the daily scripture readings, and I open the phones to take your questions on a wide variety of topics to help you become a smarter Catholic. Thank you for listening and supporting Catholic programming, like Father Simon Says, heard right here on Redeemer Radio.
Well, glad you could join us on this sunny afternoon here in Jamestown, North Dakota. And if you're looking on a map, where is Jamestown? It's kind of midway between Fargo and Bismarck. About 100 miles each way to either of those cities. But could not ask for better weather today. So the Cougars with that fourth down. Little fool play. Short snap to Pearson Harnish. Goes 52 yards for the touchdown. Now the Cougars will kick it away. Jevning back deep with Edwards. And here comes Gardner approaching the ball. Kicks it high, end over end. That'll be run up to by Edwards at the 11. Works right side and then Boyd brought down. Did not get much more. So good play defensively by St. Francis. As getting down there. And that was Caleb Hankinson who made the stop defensively for St. Francis. So the Jimmies offense will head back onto the field now. They'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line. Jimmies hit the road next Saturday. They'll go and take on 17th ranked Dakota Wesleyan. Cougars back home, but against USF Illinois. They've had some great matchups. Not often have the two St. Francis football teams played, but when they've had good matchups. Pistol alignment now, and here is the handoff as an off-tackle run to the left. Big hit by Harnish. Gain will be for 3 yards out to about the 19-yard line as Jevning got the call. Spun off a tackle right at the line of scrimmage, but then there was Pearson Harnish to deliver the blow. Pearson Harnish, as we mentioned, 131 tackles a year ago, and 11 lead the Cougars in the national championship game against Baker. Call it 2nd down and 7. Jimmy's coming up now to the line of scrimmage. Shotgun formation for Klott. Blitz coming defensive right side. There's a throw to the right. Catch is made short of the 1st down. Out to about the 24-yard line.
Number 1, Brandon Edwards.
Edwards on the catch. That was well bracketed defensively. They'll bring a 3rd down and about a yard. We've seen Chris Hamilton a couple of times today. 6'1" wideout. He checks into the ball game, brings the play in. They need about a yard, maybe a yard and a half. Nose of the football on the Jamestown side of the 25-yard line. They've got to get to the 26. Empty backfield now. 2 wide either side of the field, 3 wide to the left side. Klott now short drop and is going to run. He'll have the 1st down. Slides for it. Wanted to throw, waited the last second, then scrambled straight ahead, and he's got a 1st down. UJ had 4 1st downs in the first half. That's their first of the second half. And now they've got a little better field position at their own 27-yard line. Hamilton stays in wide to the near side. They go with an I formation now. Klott under center, hands it off to the tailback. And that one is short-lived. Spencer Cowherd got in there with help from Eric Denton to blow up that play. He gains a yard. Jevney does. Cougar down front 3, including James Jamisich on the left side. Big Eric Helmegard at 6'5", 320, anchoring the nose. And the right side by Jordan May, who's a junior now, 242. Jordan getting a chance and hoping to stay healthy this year. Cougars on the roster show 3 safeties and 2 linebackers, a little different alignment, but now they cheat up. They've got 4 linebackers showing. Here's a throw on the quick slant, and Ryan Johnson had an interception earlier. Times that one perfectly on a throw to the left side that's incomplete. Trying to get that to Josh Burgess, but incomplete. Now it's 3rd and long. 3rd down and 9. In the first half, Jimmies were 0 for 6 And for 2 games now, they have not had a third down conversion. For the year, they're 0 for 18, hoping this might give them their first. They need to reach their own 37-yard line this snap. Now a little motion far side. They'll reset. Shotgun formation again. Dropping the throw. Clot looking. Angles to his right. Steps out of trouble. Now is going to get only to the 30-yard line. So they will still need about 7 yards. He'll gain about 1.5 yards, maybe 2 yards, positive yards. And they'll bring the punt team on, and they have yet to pick up a third down conversion. So Johnson on to punt the ball away. Busy fella in the first half. Had 4 punts, had a long of 38.5. Waits for the snap back at his own 15. And here comes the rush. Kick is away. Nice hanging ball. Boswell sees that hit on the far side. Takes a high bounce out of bounds somewhere around the USF 35-yard line. So the Cougar offense will come back on the field. We'll see if we see some new numbers now. If Kevin Donley decides now is the time to filter in some of those younger players just itching for a chance to show what they can do. It will be Nick Ferrer that comes out, though, once again to run the offense for the Cougars. Rixey and Boswell, the wideouts to the right side. Shoemaker, one of the offensive linemen, started today. His first start for the Cougars on the offensive end. And 1 wide to the left. Pistol lineman blitz. They're selling out with a zone blitz. Play action fake. Here's Ferrer to throw the ball downfield, looking for Rixey. No chance on that one. Dan kind of gave up on the play. The ball hung up a little bit. Ferrer had to get rid of it as they were sending all 3 linebackers. With the zone blitz coming up, but incomplete. 2nd down and 10. .901 remaining in this third quarter. Rocky James had a touchdown catch in the first half. He's wide, the lone wide to the far side. 2 wide to the right. Green, the offset running back to the right of Nick Ferrer. And here's Ferrer, gives ground, dumps it off. Green has got it on the screen, 35-40. And short of the first down, he's up to about the 42-yard line.
Screen pass completed to number 17, Justin Green.
So Green will have a gain out to about the 40, just short of the 43-yard line. They'll need about 2 yards, 2.5. Let's call it 3 yards. Try to get out to their own 45 on this snap coming up. Again, it looks like the same formation. Casey Cole has checked in. He's part of a trips package, wide to the left. Casey, a freshman, 6'2", 206. They show a safety blitz this time. Here's Ferrer. Blitz is coming. He throws the ball in the middle. In traffic, Boswell at the 45 of Jamestown. On the money was Nick Ferrer with that laser shot delivery. And Boswell running the quick post over the middle. And he's got the 1st and 10 for St. Francis at the Jamestown 45-yard line. Boy, Ferrer just simply sharp today. 13 of 15 through the air in the first half. And he's picked up right where he left off. Call again stays in. They'll stay with that same 3 wide package. Trips to the left side. Rixey wide, the lone wide to the right. Green lined up behind Ferrer. Now I'll call a timeout with 7:46 remaining. Something he didn't like. So he'll take a timeout. So will we. And a 41-0 lead by St. Francis on the road today. This is Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
For Harley-Davidson, Honda, and Kawasaki, there's no place like the Ellerding family of dealerships in New Haven, now in our 52nd year. Over 300 new and used motorcycles, scooters, and ATVs, plus multi-purpose utility vehicles that tow, haul, and seat up to 6. No matter what you ride or drive, let's swap for a new one. Choose a non-current model, and qualified buyers get some of the best finance terms and years. Visit Ellerding's River City Harley-Davidson and Ellerding's Honda Kawasaki Motorsports today, just off Coliseum Boulevard on State Road 930 in New Haven, plus our gear store in Glenbrook Mall by Sears. Welcome to our family.
Still 7:46 remaining in this third quarter. USF with the ball into Jamestown territory at the Jimmy 45-yard line. They'll have a first down, 1st and 10 on that strength of that Sean Boswell catch. Well, note to self, next week I've got to get a new roster for St. Francis. Right now I've got one that travels over 5 pages. Green with a handoff, cuts it to the right, steps out of a tackle at the 40, straight arms another, 35-30, and bumped out of bounds inside the Jamestown 30 to the 28-yard line. A little extracurriculars here on the sideline as Rixey was down.
Back in the back, number 75 on the offense.
Well, Alex Woods whistled for a penalty.
First down.
So the Cougars do keep the first down, but they'll move the ball back from the spot of the foul. And right now the flag was at the 40, so it should take it back to the St. Francis side of midfield, and they'll put it down to the, well, right at midfield, in fact. So Cougars, who had in penalties 6 for 52 yards in the first half, costly one there, brings up first down and, yeah, let's call it 15 from midfield. Out of the shotgun, here's Ferrer, giving some ground and throws over the middle, looking for Rocky James. He's got the catch, slides down, holds on inside the 10-yard line at the 5 goes Rocky James, and again, just a beautiful touch pass delivery. A lot of air under it by Ferrer. Just allowed Rocky James to run down in the middle of the field and slid down and corralled it. It'll be first and goal, USF at the 5. Cougars huddling up now. They bring Nate Carson to the game with Will Chrisman. They'll be the 2 wide to the right. Blackwell up on the wing to the left side with Green as the running back. Now Carson in motion. They'll flip the ball to him. Nate Carson looking for a block, turn to the corner, looking for the goal line. Touchdown.
Touchdown, Cougars.
That one officially 5 yards on the little touch flip pass from Ferrer to Nate Carson. Comes at the 6:49 mark. So Nate Carson getting a chance to get his hands on the football. Good footwork into the corner of the end zone. And Gavin Gardner now on to attempt the extra point. Waiting for the snap, low snap, but that was it down, and the kick is long enough, and it is good. Good job, by the way, by the holder, and that is Joe Nepper who is the hold. Kick is good. That'll make it 48-0. And we'll return to North Dakota with a stoppage down below. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Join me, Father Bob Yarrow, parochial vicar at St. Jude Parish in Fort Wayne, as we walk in the footsteps of St. Paul in the spring of 2018. Redeemer Radio Odysseys is traveling to Greece, where we will discover firsthand the sights, sounds, and feelings he may have had as he established the church. Register by October 20th to save $100 on your trip.
Questions? Visit Redeemer Radio Odysseys on our website at redeemerradio.com or call me, Tina Schneider, at 260-436-2482.
Nick Ferrer with his second touchdown toss of the game. Hit Rocky James earlier with an 18-yard touchdown toss in the left corner of the end zone, and now gets the little touch pass, good for 5 yards to Nate Carson. And 48-0 Cougars. Well, you always wonder, you know you've got the tools. You've got returning veterans, but you've lost a lot through graduation. And will this team, you know, it's not just a matter of having talent. You've got to have chemistry. How do the newcomers, do they buy in? Who will be the leaders on the team? And a lot of those questions have been answered today for Coach Kevin Donley and his coaching staff. Here's the kick, long, end over end deep. It'll come down, fielded at the 1. And returned by Edwards across the 15, 20, 25. Blockers in front, got to the 30, and another yard to the 31. Tell you what, they're playing for real out there. There was some pushing and shoving going on well after the whistle, but don't see any penalty flags down, so no harm, no foul apparently. As Caleb Hankinson got locked up with one of the players for the Jimmies. It'll be 1st and 10. Jamestown at their own 31-yard line. And they're going to stay with Dylan Klott at quarterback, the 6'1 senior quarterback. Let's see who the running back is now. Little motion right to left. Behind the line of scrimmage, they set up a power I to the right side. They'll run that ball. That's Jebning, and he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. Cougars read that one well. Wilmer Cole came up and won support. Got there with, but he had a lot of help. The silver and blue. Devin Green also in the mix with that stop for the Cougars. Call it no gain. 2nd down and 10. Jimmies have tried to shift extra blockers on the side they want to run to, but after some early success, periodic success, St. Francis has really adjusted that. Now they flip-flop the wing back to the near side. That's the wide side of the field. Shotgun formation for Klott. He hands the ball out. No, he keeps it himself. Runs to the right side, but the Cougars stayed at home. Weak side left. And did they come up with a ball? Cougars think they've got the football, but I believe the whistle may have blown. Sideline erupted. As for a moment, it looked like Malachi Mannion came up with a football, but they're going to rule it. The ball was down by the whistle, and a gain of 1, so it brings up 3rd down and 9. Hamilton in wide to the near side. Edwards up in the slot left side. Now they flip-flop the tight end to the left side. Once again, that's James Hagan. And now a timeout. They had running out of play clock was about to expire. So Jimmies will take a timeout with 5:09 remaining in the quarter. We'll step out as well. With our score 48-0, St. Francis on the road. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
I have a special word for married men, since I'm one of you. Our wives and children need us, faults and all. We are irreplaceable. We're made to be noble knights. Never leave your family. You are needed. God made us men inherently warriors. Just watch young boys playing, how they will quite naturally turn sticks into pretend guns or swords. Let's channel the fight that is in us to love, sacrifice for, and protect our wives and children through thick and thin. It is before God that we made a vow when we became united in marriage with our wives. Let's keep it. Quote, so then, what God has united, man must not divide. Mark 10:9-10. I'm Jim Littleton, formingfaithfulfamilies.com.
Jimmy's on 3rd down and 9. Get the ball to Hamilton. He looked like he had a chance to get the first down, but is stopped by the Cougar defense at the 40-yard line. That'll leave them 4th down and 1. Cougars have had 1 4th down stop already today when the Jimmies had the ball in the red zone. And now, are they going to bring the punt team on? Maybe a little surprising with the ball at the 40-yard line, but Josh Cattell says no. Let's see if they short snap the ball or try. They do, and they'll kick the ball away, end over end, near side. Boswell lets that hit inside the 25. It does bounce out of bounds. We'll see exactly where we're going to. Inside the 10, around the 9-yard line is where the Cougars will go to work offensively now. With still 4:17 remaining here in this 3rd quarter. And I believe now is the time where we may see some of those new and different numbers. And I will be taxed to the limit with a roster that covers 4 or 5 different pages. Well, let's start letting you know some of the new ones in there. Going to see Kyle May in there right now. And we will see Clay Cenarius at quarterback. And we'll check the running back when we get a chance. They'll hand the ball off. This may be Sonater as he works off between left guard and tackle across the 15. So the Cougars keep it on the ground. It is Ryan Sonater in there. The senior running back, 5'9", 195. Cenarius, his numbers. Last year, threw for 1 touchdown, 131 yards. very good completion average for the 6'4 sophomore. He was 13 of 21 for 62%. Sonater stays in there as the running back. May in the slot formation to the near side. That was a gain of 7, second down and 3. Cenarius looks Sonater again, looking for running room, and he somehow got through and breaks free across the 25 to the 30 and run out of bounds here on the near sideline up around the 35. Jimmies looked like they had Sonater stopped. But again, when you're 5'9", sometimes you have that ability to duck under would-be tacklers. Ryan did that out of Bishop Dwenger and able to pick up the first down at the 35 of St. Francis. Chrisman stays in as one of the wideouts. Blackwell also joins them wide to the left. And 1st and 10. Clay Cenarius, second quarterback used today. Here's Sonater, big hole off to the right, trying to make a little Duke move and brings it across the 40 out to the 42-yard line. Andre Purnell, who led him in the time for tackles last week out of his safety position. He's a true freshman. Tied a week ago with Keith Rogers for the team lead against Hastings with 8 tackles each. But Sonater able to run for 8 yards, second down and a short 2. Same set with 2 wide to the far side, 2 wide to the right. Pistol formation now for Cenarius. Wanting to throw, looks, dumps it out. Carson with the catch. He's got the first down. They'll give him gain out to the 48. Needed 2, he got about 3 or 4.
Number 15, Nate Carson. Good for a first down.
So Nate Carson, who's got a touchdown today, and now moves the chains for a Cougar first down. They'll stay with that 2 wide set, Blackwell and Crispin to the far side. And here's Cenarius again, stays in the pistol, blitz coming, zone blitz defensive right side. They'll give it off and a run to the right side, and that's a gain down the right sidelines. Again, we've got a new running back in there for St. Francis, and that one is Cody Conwell. Out of Cherubusco, he's a senior, 5'8", 184. Cody Conwell with the carry. There's a penalty flag. It goes against St. Francis. It will still be first down, but the penalty does go against St. Francis. And this will be a walk-off of 10 yards. And takes the ball back to the St. Francis 37-yard line. Still 2:12 on the clock here in this third quarter. The Cougars took a 34-0 lead to the halftime dressing room, which, by the way, is by some pine trees out here close to the south end zone. Now to be first down and long, 1st and 20 for Cenarius. Short drop, Cenarius to throw, looks near side, the out pattern, and Carson, did he get a foot down? No. Left his feet and pushed out of bounds that time. Keith Rogers did not allow him to get it. Now there's a penalty flag, and we'll see what this is about. Linesman comes over and talks to our referee, Brian Yanish. Waiting to see what the indication is. They're talking.
On the offense, not enough men on the line. Penalty is decline. Second down.
Yeah, they'll take the incompleted pass rather than the penalty. So it'll bring up still second down and 20. Cougars would have to get it out to the 43-yard line of Jamestown. A couple of downs to work with. Christmas stays wide to the left. And here's where you find out where your playmakers are going to be. Who responds to the opportunity to step up? Cenarius out of the pistol, drops to throw again. Looking, throws over the middle. He's got a crossing pattern catch. That's Chrisman, and he'll get a lot of the penalty yardage back and a gain up to about midfield. That'll bring up third down. Third and about 7. Nice route run that time by Will Chrisman, the 6'6" sophomore. They are expecting big things out of this young man out of DeKalb. It'll be 3rd and 7. Cougars still trying to reach the 43-yard line of UJ. Carson in wide to the near side. And Cenarius with the ball right about the middle of the field. Wants to throw again. Blitz is coming. Throws it over the middle. Chrisman dropped it. Comeback pattern. That's one he should have had, he'll tell you himself. But it'll bring up 4th down, and the Cougars will punt. If that's one area that Chrisman will need to improve on, we saw it somewhat last year. He's got soft hands, but sometimes does not secure the football. He has looked good, though, otherwise here today. In fact, that previous pass, a good route run, and good job of getting Cougars in position to have a chance to pick up the 1st down. Now Nepper on to punt the ball. One back and punt return for the Jimmies. This time, I believe they will deliver it all the way back. And Nepper, end over end punt that's fielded on the run by Edwards and knocked down at the 20-yard line, right where he about received the ball. Ryan Johnson was down there defending for St. Francis. That'll take the clock down to under 90 seconds remaining in the quarter. 48-0 USF. Now with the second teamers in, and that'll be the same for the defensive side of things as well. And we'll start going to the roster to check some of those numbers. Blake Blaker checks in at defensive end. Now at defensive end and on the nose. Going to be looking at Ahmad Rucker, who's 322 out of South Helena, Illinois. Here's a sweep coming to the left side. That's Jevning fighting through tackles, dragging tacklers up close to the 30-yard line. There is a penalty flag thrown at the 29. Alan Jevning had a couple of good runs earlier in this ball game, and good, tough run that time. Trying to run through some tackles, but Jimmies are backing up. Holding. Holding that time against UJ will back them up. That one goes against Pete Fear, who works as a blocking fullback much of the time when he comes into the ball game. Matt Muncy is also into the ball game. Can hardly call him a backup. He's seen and some big plays defensively. Had a game-saving tackle late in the ball game last year that won a game. Now a one-back look, and under center, Klott looks and wants to throw, steps up, flush to his right, dumps that out on the flats. He's got a catch, and they'll only get back to the line of scrimmage, though, to the 20. Cougars did a good job of flying to the football. So they get actually some of that penalty yardage back, and will bring up, well, let's call it 9 yards to go on a second down call coming up for UJ. Well, ideally, Josh Cattell would like to get the ball in the hands of his senior playmaker, Brandon Edwards, who had 3 touchdowns and 540 receiving yards a year ago. He's wide to the left. Cougars playing off on him right now. Second down and 9. And here is under center. Klott drops to throw. Pumps, pulls it down, throws on looking for Edwards. And incomplete. There was little foot contact down there. No harm, no foul. Coverage down deep that time by Stan Jackson. Jackson kind of stumbled before he was continuing on. He had the outside position. I don't know if he would add an opportunity to make the interception. Ryan Johnson had one earlier in this ball game. So third down and 9. Caleb Summers in as one of the linebackers now into the secondary for St. Francis. Stan Jackson, we just mentioned his name. And Adam Hoffer out of New Haven in there. Third down and 9. Little play action. The crossing pattern is made. They've got a first down. Good throw, good delivery by Klott that time, and on the mark. Quick hitting play is good for a first down. And it looks like they got that ball into the hands of Caleb Ellingson. So the Jimmies move the chains. And they've got a 1st and 10, but they'll have to wait till the 4th quarter to try to improve on that. After 3 quarters here in North Dakota, St. Francis in command, 48-0 over the Jimmies. And this is Cougar Football and Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Dear, do you have any cash? I owe Heather for lunch. Oh, and we need to send Jason money for textbooks.
Sound familiar? Now there's an easier way to pay with People Pay from First Federal Bank. It uses First Federal's mobile app to quickly and securely text or email cash and e-gift cards.
Oh, I still have to get a gift card for Dan's birthday. I think there's an ATM on the way.
Stop hunting for ATMs and start using People Pay. Check it out at first-fed.com/peoplepay. Member FDIC.
Well, we head to the fourth quarter now. The Cougars trying to pitch the shutout in their season debut on the road. Don't forget the home opener next Saturday, high noon at Darcy Stadium, when the Cougars go against another St. Francis team, USF out of Illinois, Joliet, Illinois, to be precise. And we'll take to the air. If you can't make the game, certainly join us online, won't you? Or in the Fort Wayne market on Redeemer Radio. Our pregame show begins at 11:45. We'll be joined by Sean McBride, who didn't want any part of that 18-hour bus trip. Can't blame him. Actually, he was working last night, I think, in the high school game. So here we go now. It'll be 1st and 10. Plot in. He's gone all the way today at quarterback. Long count from the line of scrimmage. Wants to throw. Looks, checks off, dumps it near side. Jevning trying to cut back. Slowed up a bit, but works out to the 40-yard line. Marcus Stepp had a chance to drop him for a loss, but could not bring him down. Turns into a positive gain of about 4 or 5 yards. 2nd down and 5 with the ball spotted just across the Jimmy 40-yard line. At the 41 is where they bring it. So improving field position for UJ. Edwards sent wide to the far side. Cougars have Stan Jackson defending on him. Single coverage out there under center's Clot. I formation. He wants to throw. Sets up blitz. It's coming and throw it in the ground. As I mean to tell you, there was trouble coming up the middle of the pass. As the Cougars just had him dead. That was Caleb Summers that came through there. Clot saw it just in the nick of time and got rid of the ball. No roughing call against Caleb Summers. Summers with 11 tackles last year. He's a 5'11 junior, 212 pounds. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Jimmy's trying to reach their own 46-yard line. Matt Muncy now works on the right side. They bring 4 men up on the line of scrimmage defensively for the Cougars. Shotgun formation for Dylan Clot. Short drop, looks, steps up, and is going nowhere. Wrapped up, Blaker got to him. Dropped down at the 41, gains about a yard. So Blaker with that stop. And again, they'll bring Chandler Johnson on to punt the ball away. Still 13:45 remaining. Clock is moving. We'll see Dan Rixey now back in punt return. Cougars a little slow defensively coming out on the field, and they're still bringing guys out. Play clock still down to 7. And now what do we have? Penalty flag. They may not have had. That may be a penalty against St. Francis. Let's wait and see.
Illegal equipment on the defense. Final penalty.
It does not appear to be a first down. It is that they had a legal substitution call. I think they're still short by about a half a yard, but Josh Cattell may. Well, you hear the crowd below us saying, go for it, go for it. I mean, it's 48-0. You've got really nothing to lose, but right now they're keeping. Well, they may change. Looks like we're going to have a timeout called. And the Jimmy's coaching staff wants to discuss this. We'll keep things right here. Haven't gotten any scores elsewhere. We know that Siena Heights was playing against, they were hosting Northwood of Michigan. Other games going on in the mid-states. Lindenwood Bellwood was home today against Olivet Nazarene in a crossover game. And Taylor tonight under the lights. Trojans are hosting the Malone Pioneers. That's a game that's supposed to kick off at 7 o'clock Indiana time. So Jimmies do bring the offense back out. They need less than a yard. And we'll see if Klott calls his own number. He's under center, wants to hand it off. Here's a run to the right side, and they got it. Second effort, good to call that time by Jevning. Jevning for the first down. Well, they've had no success on third downs, but on fourth down they convert. And they'll get a new set of downs to work with now with just over 13 minutes remaining in this ball game. Cougars with the new numbers in there now. And here they're going to flip-flop the tight end. That's Zeb Tabier. Works on the left side. Hamilton in motion. Here's a play-action fake as Klott wants to throw the ball long and deep. He's got a man out there, and that one is incomplete. Good saving defense at the last moment. That was tipped away. And coming across to make that play was Adam Hoffer out of New Haven. Originally, Adam had his body turned, but he located the ball at 6'2". The junior able to turn around and swat that ball away at the last second. Kind of hung up at the last moment. Second down and 10. I have to check the roster because we've got a couple of guys out there that we don't have on this roster. Second down and 10, straight eye formation. And they'll run the ball straight ahead. And that's not much there. Maybe a gain, a positive yard for the Jimmies. Let's see if that's Jevney getting off the bottom of the pile, but Edwards out of play, now comes back on. It'll be third down and 9. Jimmy's trying to reach the USF 43-yard line. They had one other opportunity in the ball game down in the red zone, but the Cougars stuffed it on the fourth down stop. And Jimmy still with not any points on the board. Cougars now come up and press coverage on the outside. It'll be third and 9. High snap. Klott's got it. As he looks, flush to his right, fell down, and that'll do that. Tripped up as Hoffer was coming on a safety blitz. Or check it, it was Summers coming on the linebacker blitz. Loss of 4 all the way back to the 43. And now they will bring the punt team on to kick the ball away. Well, the Jimmy's crowd had something to cheer about when they converted on that fourth down call, but nothing more to gain out of it. And they'll have to punt the ball away with Johnson waiting to kick the ball away back at his own 26. Steps up to it. High spiral. Nice kick. Rixey has to let it go. And still in bounds inside the 10. Picks it up. Did he step out of bounds? Circles back near the goal line. Tripped up on his feet across the 15, 20, 25. He's got two blockers in front. Turns the corner at the 35 and then runs out of probably yardage and also gas. But Rixey, I thought for sure he might have stepped out of bounds when he picked up that ball late inside the 5. But no whistles, and they did not blow the play down. Instead, he makes a good run out of it on the return. Out to about the 41-yard line is where they spot that ball. So that ends up being about a return of 36 yards. On a ball that looked like, for a time, that was going to kick out of bounds. Blake Sonaria stays in at quarterback, the second quarterback used today by Coach Kevin Donley. And decent field position at the 41. Cougars going to keep the ball on the ground. Off tackle run to the right side. That's to the 45 in near midfield. Eli Wallace now in there, a freshman out of LaGrange, played at Lakeland, 5'9", 210 pounds. So now is where the coaches, they try to get anybody and everybody that's on the bus into the ball game. Carson stays in wide to the right. Cougars also with a blocking back up there on the right side, and that is Chris Smith. As here is a run to the right once again. They've got some good daylight down the right sideline. That was Wallace, I believe, again with that carry. all the way inside the 25. We'll see where he stepped out of bounds. Looks like they've got him out at about the 23, but that's a good-looking run by the young man trying to make a statement here in the dying moments of this ball game. Still over just 10 minutes remaining. Wallace out of Lakeland, as we mentioned. They'll stay with Wallace as the running back. And Cenarius ready to take the snap again out of the pistol. Looks, Wallace gets the call again. A little stop and go move, right side. Cuts for a first down down the right sideline. And he's inside the 10, down to about the 7, maybe the 6-yard line. Good job of waiting for the blocking scheme to develop by young running back Eli Wallace. And he'll have him first and goal. The ball at the 6. It'll be first and goal. Nose of the football just outside the 5. Check some of those other numbers in there that we've got. Yanni Cooper also in there, a sophomore wideout. Seeing some minutes in the late going. Now Cenarius with 2 wide to the right, motion out of that. Looks on the counter run by Wallace. Looks, ducks in. Play that works from left to right. They fake the handoff off the motion, coming right to left, and then coming back to the right side of the run by Wallace to the 4-yard line. And it'll bring up second down and goal from the 4. Cooper stays in wide to the left. Wallace is the running back. And they've got Chris Smith in there as the blocking back. He's up on the wing to the left side, 230-pound side. Out of, here's a pass to the right corner. That's too high, incomplete. Looking for Nate Carson, who does have a touchdown catch today. Just the footnote on Chris Smith out of Pike High School, 230-pound sophomore, 5'10". So now it will be third down and goal with a ball at the 4-yard line. Clock did stop with, I believe that's 8:41 remaining. Chrisman back in wide to the right at 6'6". So they may play pitch and catch with him, but we'll keep an eye on Wallace. He's flanked to the right of Cenarius out of the pistol. Short drop. Here's a quick stroll to the left. That is into the end zone. And let's see if it's ruled. It is a touchdown. And it's Blackwell along the back line, able to get a foot in bounds. So Cenarius with a 4-yard touchdown pass to Duke Blackwell at the 8:32 mark. And the Cougars tack on another touchdown with Gavin Gardner, who's been a busy guy today, on to attempt the extra point. Looking now for the 55th point of the afternoon. Here's the right-footed kick on the way, and that is good. So it'll be a 55-0 lead for St. Francis. Trying to finish this one off and get on the bus for that 18-hour road trip back to Fort Wayne and get ready for USF, Illinois, a week from today. We'll be back after a timeout. Cougar football on the road on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
This is Cindy Black, Executive Director of Redeemer Radio. We hear many stories of how God has spoken to people's hearts through Redeemer Radio with what they need, when they need it. Priests share that people have come to confession after many years away. Young adults who have doubted their faith are reassured by what they hear. Non-Catholics who have journeyed into the church often cite Redeemer Radio as a key influence. Lives are being transformed thanks to our generous donors. You too can join our mission by going to redeemerradio.com or calling the station. Welcome home to your family of faith.
Well, the Cougars on the board again. It's a touchdown pass from Clay Cenarius to Duke Blackwell. And for Cenarius, he had just one touchdown pass last year. He's got that today. And for Blackwell, that is his first touchdown catch of his career. Now the Cougars ready to kick it off again, right to left. High end over end. And this will be fielded at the 5 and nearly falling down was Jevney. Sheds one blocker. He's got some running room off to the right, 35-40. Jevney, and finally they wrap up on him, but he's all the way to midfield and into Cougar territory. Down to about the 46. So a good run by Jevney that time. Might have been a touchdown saving tackle that time. And unfortunately, that's the young man. We don't have his roster number. But we'll sort that all out. It is a season opener. But it'll be very good field position now for the Jimmies. They've got it into Cougar territory at the 46. They'd love to cap off the day, at least some consolation with a late touchdown if they can get it. They got a lone field goal last week by Anderson of 27 yards, looking for their first touchdown. They've got a straight eye formation. And now it's Jordan Mann in at quarterback. And they'll run the ball. And there is a tackle made. It'll be a gain down to about the 43-yard line of St. Francis. Jordan Mann came in relief of Clot last week here. Completed 2 of 3 passes for 32 yards. Did suffer 1 interception. He is a 6-foot sophomore, 200 pounds. It'll be second down. Let's call it 8. New number in there, Justin Manson, a freshman wideout to the left side. 2 wide, in fact, to the left. In the straight eye formation. Man under center, ready to take the snap. Looks to hand the ball off. Jevney again, looking for a block off to the right side. Squirts through, got to the 40. Second effort, takes it down for a first down or very close to it. Around the 36-yard line of the Cougars. Cougars looked like they had the play slowed out. By the way, Jack Gibbons in there for a play, but now may have been picked up a little bit of a injury as he comes off the field. Stan Jackson comes back in to replace him. 1st and 10, though. They rule it good for a first down at the 36-yard line. Jimmies break the tackle now, and once again, they'll send that French freshman wideout, Justin Manson, wide to the left. 1 wide to the right now. And Mann out of the pistol looks to hand the ball off. There's some running room. Initially, tackle is made. It'll be a positive gain of about 5 yards. Thought that might have been Jackson He, the new running back in there. It will be a gain of 4, second down and 6.
Gain of 4 on the run by number 15, Burrow, Sam.
Second down and 6. A lot of new numbers in there for the Jimmies now. As Mann sets up under center. See if he tries to go to the air on this play. Cougars 2 safeties back. They will run the ball, and not much there. Tackle made as Caleb Summers shot through and made that quick tackle. Gave the ball to Jackson He. Did get the call. 3rd down and 7 with the ball spotted at the Cougar 33-yard line. They're probably going to need at least a conversion to pick up a new set of downs to give Johnson a chance at a field goal at the very least. 5:43 remains. Now they'll set up out of the shotgun formation with man back deep. He flanked to the left. Here's the blitz coming, steps up, now it's going to run. Gets by 1, he scrambles for the first down to the USF 24-yard line. Good recognition by the sophomore quarterback. Cougars were pinching in, but couldn't get a hand on him. Mitchell Thornberry was closing, but unable to make the play. Now Matt Muncie checks back into the ball game for St. Francis defensively. But it'll be 1st and 10 at the 25. Jimmy's trying to spoil the shutout. Now they've got twins in the backfield. No wideouts. One in the wingback position to the right side. And whistles blew. Did the play clock run out, or did they get the timeout called?
Timeout taken.
Brian Yanish recognized the timeout. I'll tell you what, let's take a 30-second timeout as well. 55-0. St. Francis in command here on the road in the Dakotas, and this is Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM Northeast Indiana.
Howdy folks, this is Jimmy Aiken from Catholic Answers Live, which is heard right here on Redeemer Radio weekdays from 6 to 8 p.m. On Catholic Answers Live, we take live phone calls and offer Catholics and non-Catholics an opportunity to hear from and talk with some of the leading apologists and theologians in the church today. Thank you for listening to and supporting Catholic programming like Catholic Answers Live right here on Redeemer Radio.
Clock moves inside of 5 minutes now, stopped with a timeout, 4:58 showing. Edwards back in, wide to the right side. Stan Jackson will defend against him. Playing about 6-7 yards off. Now the safeties drop off as well. Man under center, and formation behind him. Looks, play action fake, wants to throw. Being pursued, and steps out of a tackle. Throws late and into the ground. Looking for to try to dump that ball off into the flats, but nothing there. Pressure coming by St. Francis. Up the middle as Vito Tupea applying the pressure for the Cougars. Second down and 10. Clock stopped with 4:39 remaining. It's on to the road next week for the Jimmies. They'll go to Dakota Wesleyan. Wesleyan ranked number 17 in the first poll that came out. Now there's a little motion by out of the backfield to the left side. Empty set. And here is a scramble run. And this time, man falls forward, hit from behind. 3 Cougars were there. Falls to the 21. Well, here an alarm going off. Hope that's not my car. Malachi Mannion again got in there and applying some pressure. I'll leave them with 3rd down and 7. Ball's at the USF 22. One of the wideouts to the left side. They're in tandem out there to the left. And shotgun formation for man. Play action fake. Wants to throw short. Ball is caught. And still on his feet after that catch was the freshman, Justin Manson. Manson, a lot of traffic. Cougars had 2 defenders there, but he grabbed the ball away from him.
Pass is moving number 7, Justin Manson. Brings up 4-1.
That'll bring up 4th down. He was a yard short of the first down. They've converted on a 4th down call here earlier in this 4th quarter. Ball's at the 16. They need to get to the 15. And they won a touchdown, certainly not a field goal. They got that last week, losing 31-3. Hamilton wide to the left. Play clock down to 2, and they have to burn another timeout.
Take it. University of Jamestown. Timeout.
So they may have one left. It is 55-0 with 3:07 remaining in the ball game. We'll step out for a 30-second break. This is Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
This is Bishop Kevin Rhodes, Bishop of Fort Wayne, South Bend, inviting you to join me this Wednesday at noon for a new episode of Truth and Charity. I'll talk about my experiences with St. Teresa of Calcutta, and then it's on to the charitable works of the Catholic Church. Join me this Wednesday at noon.
Truth and Charity with Bishop Rhodes is brought to you in part by Notre Dame Federal Credit Union.
We don't want you to forget about H&L Electric. They are your full-service electrical contractor. From commercial and industrial to residential, H&L can handle the smallest to the largest of projects for your business or residence. Appreciate their patronage all these years. Now it's 4th and 1. 1 wide to the left. Straight I formation. Man under center. Takes the snap. Looks. Stretch run to the right side. They've got the first down. Nosing his way down to about the 10-yard line. New running back in there. That's Bruno Sands. So ever closer. It'll be 1st and 10 at the USF 11. Clock inside of 3 minutes. Just a matter of what the final score will be. Manson stays in wide to the right. And flanked inside of him in the slot will be Edwards. Shotgun formation. Here's a roll to the right side. And the throw, that's a fingertip catch made at about the 6. Nice job. Manson's been impressive, the freshman. He got good hands. So that'll pick up about half the distance. It'll be 2nd down and 5 at the 6. Well, they're going to mark that ball at the 5. So they can pick up a first down without scoring at the 1. Well, Cougars right now, it's a matter of pride if they can preserve the shutout, or at least try to keep them out of the end zone. Hamilton wide to the left. The running back in there is Jackson He, another freshman, 225. He's offset to the right side, man out of the gun. Waiting for the snap, and again, I believe the play clock was about to run down. And they're running out of timeouts. It is delay a game this time. So that'll move them back outside the 5 to the 10-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 9. And again, the situation, they can pick up a first down at the 1. Tight in right to the tight to the right side. Same formation. Here is man looking to throw the outlet pass, and that's off the fingertips of Jackson He. Had 3 carries last week for 13 yards. And now a 3rd down and 9 situation coming up for the Jimmies. Kylan Bass into the ball game out of Cardinal Ritter High School into the linebacking core for St. Francis right now. Matt Muncie stays in. Working at left, right, actually on the nose. And now St. Francis wants to call a timeout. Do the Cougars want this shutout? We'll find out. We have under a minute remaining, 44 seconds and change. We'll take a 30-second break and be back. 55-0 Cougars. Cougar football and Redeemer Radio 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Hey, it's Kyle from the Kyle Hyman Show, heard weekdays from 7 to 8 a.m. here on Redeemer Radio. And every morning we meet you where you are, getting out of bed, drinking your coffee, on your way to work, and through prayer, guests, personal stories, sometimes games, we bring you Catholicism with joy and fun to start your day. So don't miss the Kyle Hyman Show weekdays from 7 to 8 a.m. right here on Redeemer Radio.
Well, a quick shout out to Doug Jones, the A-team working with us today, the chief engineer at Redeemer Radio. Robert Scora thought he was going to be working, and then Robert said he was taking a surprise trip to L.A. Imagine that. We miss Robert, and we're glad to have Doug in working with us today. No problems, no harm, no foul, right, buddy? Here we go. It'll be 3rd down and 9. Ball spotted just outside the 10. Pistol formation, the hand to He. No, it's a play-action fake. And, man, trying to get rid of the ball late, going down. Blake Blaker wrapped up on him. And they're going to rule that an incompleted pass, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now, if you're Josh Cattell, do you go for 3 just to get points on the board? Or do you go for trying to pick up, if not the touchdown, at least to the 1 and get a new set of downs? Don't believe they want a field goal here. They want a touchdown. They're going to go for it. So we'll have wideouts to the left and to the right. Edwards, one of those in the slot to the left side. Hamilton to the right, the lone wide. Shotgun formation. Here comes the blitz. Here's the throw. The middle, a wide open grab and a touchdown to the tight end. That was James Hagan. Hagan with a touchdown catch. He was ignored by the Cougar defense. So it will be an 11-yard touchdown toss. And the Jimmies on the board here with 30, I believe a minute and 20. The clock is still running. But man with the touchdown to the tight end, James Hagan.
Please reset the game clock to 1 minute, 11 seconds.
So time of the score, 1:11.
1 minute, 32 seconds. 1 minute, 32.
As we mentioned, the sun pretty much whiting out the clock at times, depending on what numerals are coming up. But Chandler Johnson now on to attempt the extra point, so the Cougars will lose their bid for the shutout. Now the left-footed extra point kick coming up. Left-footed kick is long enough, and it is good. So, Jimmies salvage a touchdown late here at home. 55-7 with a timeout, and again, we'll turn things back for this 30-second break. Listening to Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio today on WRDF 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Hello, this is Mike Ripley, board chair at Redeemer Radio. This year, I encourage you to turn your financial support into a recurring gift to maximize your investment in reaching more souls with the message of God. Once you become a recurring gift partner, you'll be automatically enrolled in our St. Gabriel Perpetual Gift Society with both spiritual and practical benefits. You can review all those benefits and join our St. Gabriel Perpetual Gift Society today at RedeemerRadio.com.
Well, a very good play call by the Jimmies, and I don't know if Hagan released late, but he was certainly ignored by the Cougar defenders back there and wide open for that easy pitch and catch into the end zone, giving Jamestown their first touchdown of the year. Extra point by Johnson, good to make it 55-7. Now the question is, well, do you get a little greedy? Do you want to go onside maybe here to try to get another possession in the late going? By the way, 1:32 on the clock is what they finally, if I'm reading that right. So still over 90 seconds remaining. And we'll see what Johnson is instructed to do here. They tee it up at the 35 approaching. He does kick it long and deep. And Rixey gathers it in at the 11. Works right side to the hash mark, to the 20, 25, and steps out of bounds on the Cougar side of things, up short of the 30-yard line, and that's where the final snap or two will be taken by the Cougar offense. And I'm hoping they're going to shower, because 18 hours on a bus, if you're just coming in and getting on the bus and going home, that could be a little bit nasty. But what do I know? Quinn Zayer checks in, sophomore, 6'4", 278 on the offensive line. And let's see if we've got a new quarterback in there. We may well have. And here is a handoff on the right side. That's a run across the 35 to the 40, up to the 35. I thought I saw Marcus Stepp number running that football. Normally works as a defender, pocket 116. By the way, the new quarterback in there, the Cougars do go to their third. That's Danny Naylor, the 6'5" redshirt freshman out of Xenia, Ohio. And it is a first down at the 45. Let me check and see if that is or was Marcus Stepp. Of course, he played both sides of the ball so well at Bishop Dwenger. So Danny Naylor in at quarterback now. Too wide to the right. He wants to throw. The left-hander pulls it down, throws, completes. And that's to midfield. And they've got another yard to the 49. Gang tackling. The Jimmies swarm to the football. But the catch was made. And that may be Nick Brickens. Gain of 6, second down and 4. Lots of new numbers. Naylor hands the ball off. Run to the right side. And let's see, they're going to be close but short of the first down call. That was Brickens again. He's listed as a strong safety, but if I'm looking at the right number, they're using him as a running back here in the late going. Short of the first down stick by 1. Clock, though, at 15 seconds. Cougars do come up to the line of scrimmage. And let's see if they get one more play off. As Dylan Hunley into the game as a wide out to the right side. They do get one play. Here's Naylor, gets the ball, and passes complete near side. They'll have the first down, but that is going to be the final play of this ball game, as the catch was made. But that is Johnny Cooper with the catch. But that will do it. St. Francis in command, and the number 1 ranking should be preserved. for yet another week as the Cougars will head home after this 55-0 convincing road victory over the University of Jamestown Jimmies. Teams will meet with the handshake at midfield. And we'll take a timeout. We'll be back with our post-game show. We'll see if we get a chance maybe to chat with some of the players with Bill Scott down on the sidelines. 55-7 the final. Cougars go to 1-0 on the year. 0-2 are the Jimmies. And this is Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.